everybody. Come hang out this Friday, 13:10 Central Standard Time, 1:10 p.m. If you're here in the U.S., come and hang out with me and the Lady Dog. She will be there. We will be live together. Hope to see you there, guys. Cheers. Hi guys, how's it? Welcome to my Afrikaans-speaking followers, and game day is coming upon us once again as the Springboks get ready to do battle with what I believe to be the biggest rivalry, not only in rugby, but I personally think in all of international sport. I mean, you can talk about these football rivalries in Europe and whatnot, but man, it's just the history's just not there like it is for the Springboks and the All Blacks. It's just such a storied history. Was online reading some guys talking about watching the 100th game between these two sides, and just, it came down to the wire, and it's always a great time to play the All Blacks. Like, I have no disrespect to them unless they're playing my Springboks, and all bets are off, gloves are off, niceties are out the door. I mean, I have respect for it, but so with that being said, if you saw the little intro before here, come and hang out with me and the Lady Dog. Friday we will be live during the game, doing commentary and whatnot, and just enjoying it, and hopefully cheering on the Springboks. So Friday start this time. I actually took the time off from work. Gonna leave work early, come here, get everything set up, get everything squared away properly, and hopefully give you guys a good, good 2 hours, spend a good couple of hours with you guys and just enjoy some good rugby. So obviously, just a couple of weeks ago, we were already kind of talking about this. We'll go through the last 10 games, 6-3-1 in the last 10 going back to October of 2017. Last time we faced the All Blacks was at Twickenham, was back in that Rugby World Cup semifinal 2015. Where were you? It was a 2018 loss to the eventual Rugby World Cup back-to-back champions with the All Blacks led by legendary captain Richie McCaw. Couple of guys on both of these rosters were playing in that game. Amongst them, lock extraordinaire Eben Etzebeth, Willie LaRue, Franz Maherba, Dwayne Vermeulen, and Trevor Nakane were all on that 23-man squad that lost to the All Blacks at Twickenham, along with Sam Whitelock, Aaron Smith, the veteran, both veterans, Dane Coles, and Bowden Barrett were all playing for New Zealand at the time. I saw a video clip earlier where somebody had asked Eben about that, and apparently, he showered up, went to the shed, showered up, and went back to his room and didn't come out for 2 days. That's how much it devastated him. Even at that young age, Eben, he just operated on a different wavelength, man. Like, winning meant so much to him. And, he was a younger man back then, but he still got that. This could potentially be the last match between Jacques Nienaber and Fozzie the Clown, Ian Foster, of them head coaching their sides. Obviously, Foster is gone. Robertson is coming in after the Rugby World Cup, barring we playing them in the elimination round, the quarterfinal or whatnot. But this could be the last time that these two guys face off. And it's, bit of the legacy. We'll get into that a little bit later. Weather report, partly cloudy and 16. I believe the high here today was like 45, 46. So it's quite a bit cooler there in England at Twickenham. A sold out game, 80,000 I think is capacity. I know a couple of guys. SA Rugby Oak's going to be there. Hopefully he's posting pics. I wish I was there. This is sold out crowd, 80,000. Oh man, that house is going to be rocking, man. So we already saw, we'll go through it again, obviously, with the Springboks, but an experimental lineup Jacques Nienaber and Rossi Erasmus have put out. And Atlanta looks like Joe Schmidt and Ian Foster, Fozzie the Clown, kind of doing the same bit of trickery with the All Blacks. We'll go ahead and start off reading the All Blacks lineup, as we always do. Front row will consist of Ethan de Groot, Tyrell Lomax at prop, with the veteran Dane Coles at hooker. Sam Whitelock, the old reliable Sam Whitelock, will be getting that number 4 lock jersey and coming back into a lock position. He started as a lock, has kind of benefited under Scott Robertson there in Christchurch with the Crusaders in Canterbury. Scott Barrett is back at lock. Be on the lookout. He's a red card machine at number 5. Luke Jacobson and Sam Kane captaining the side will be the flankers with arguably one of the most solid number 8s in the whole rugby world, Artie Savea at number 8. Veteran Aaron Smith will get yet another start at scrum half with Richie Mo'unga kind of becoming the du jour first 5/8s for the All Blacks. Wings this week will consist of Mark Talea, the Auckland Blue, and Rugby Breakthrough Player of the Year, World Rugby Breakthrough Player of the Year, Will Jordan. Jordy Barrett and Rico Iwani will be doing the duties at center this week, with former 2-time back-to-back World Player of the Year Bowden Barrett at fullback. A 6-2 split coming off the bench with an extremely young front row. Samasoni Tokiahu being the most caps at 27, with the rookie, I guess, still at this point, Tamatai Williams, but he is a big boy, and Fletcher Newell being the front row replacements. They do go with 2 locks, just like we did. Josh Lord, only his second or third cap, I believe, and Tupou Vai, the lock replacements. Dalton Papali'i will be the flanker, probably Sam Kane replacement, I imagine. Cam Roargard, the rookie, I think maybe his second or third cap as well, and Anton Leonard-Brown, old reliable second 5/8 there from my Waikato Chiefs, will be in the 23 jersey. Now we go over to the Mighty Springbok army here and see what we've got. Front row will consist of Kitsoff, Marks, and Malherba. I believe this is our A squad on the front row. Evan Etzebeth will obviously start in the number 4 jersey, as we've gotten used to. And a name that I know he played lock at U20s. I don't know if he's ever played lock for the Springboks, for the big boys. And that would be Franco Muster. I know he's got the height and size. I can't. If you guys can maybe remember, pop the date up underneath there. I don't remember. I remember him playing lock at U20s. I don't remember him playing lock for the Springboks ever. Sia Khaleesi will be captaining the side. His opposite will be a guy that I do remember playing lock for a bit, Pieter-Steph du Toit, and anchoring it all, and a good opposite of Artie Savea, the big man, the real man, Daniel Johannes Dwayne Vermeulen, a.k.a. Thor, in the number 8. Faf de Klerk, once again, will get a start at scrum half, and he will be lined up, obviously, with Manny Lebok. Bakazoli Mampipi makes his return back to the starting lineup, with his opposite being high-flying, high-scoring Kurt-Lee Arenza. Andre Esterhuizen, former Premiership Player of the Year, should be he should be very familiar with playing in England. And Kanan Moody makes the move from wing to that number 13 jersey. I heard a rumor that apparently he wrote 13 on his chest maybe last week or the game before that for Lucan Yoam. That was kind of the thing. Or maybe it was when he was watching Lucan on TV. And then anchoring it all, the everyman, the center wing, fly half, fullback Damian Falemsa. A 6-2 split coming off of the bench. Front row replacements will consist of Bongi Manumbi, Oxen Shea, and Trevor Nakane. 2 locks off the bench this week. We get the duo, URC winning duo of Jean Klein and RG Snyman. They did absolutely great last weekend. Marco van Staden will be the flanker replacement. I imagine Sia's replacement at some point, with Kobus Reinek being Faf's replacement and Willie LaRue being the fullback replacement. So let's go ahead and talk about what's changed since last week, since the epic thrashing in the killing fields of Principality Stadium there in Wales. And, I follow a lot of these online pundit guys. All of them, 2 Cents, all these guys. And 2 Cents didn't say this, but we'll just say people are finally starting to put some respect on the Springbok name. I think the performance of Jesse Krill last weekend let everybody know we're going to be fine. And the ace in the hole, which is Kanan Moody and Kurt-Lee Arenza. These guys are 2 young, fast, high-flying guys, and I think it's letting people know that, hey, there's something a little different about the Springbok team that was 4 years ago. And you could say, well, the absence of Handré Pollard, obviously, but no, there's a little bit different of a spark in the back for these boys. And I think it's these young guys that are really carrying us in that spark. So it's good to see a bit of respect being put on the Springbok name. I mean, it should be. We're defending World Cup champs going into this tournament. The forward pack, of course, always our strong suit. And, as long as they do their job, we should be fine. Key matchups this weekend, and I had to bring it up, man. The matchup at center and wing. I mean, Rico Ioane and Jordy Barrett. Jordy Barrett is world class. He can kill you with the boot if he has to. Rico has amazing speed, but he has, since switching from wing to center, and I mean, I know he was working with Sonny Bill Williams with the Blues and that kind of thing, he really has shown that he is quite a bit of a defensive liability. His defensive abilities are pretty bad. His tackling ability isn't the greatest, but he does have speed. If he gets open field, he can run very, very, very fast. And I'm just not 100% convinced at his ability at center, either inside or outside. It's just not there. The other matchup, like I said, would be the wings. We've got Makazole Mpipi, who was the hero of the Springboks winning the World Cup 4 years ago. Kind of has taken a step back. Yes, he is up there in years. He is a grown man. He does have the tendency to score at really odd times, and I do feel like he still does have maybe a little something these youngsters don't have, and he's going to need every bit of it as he is matched up with a gentleman who's been on fire, especially against us, and that would be Will Jordan, World Rugby Breakthrough Player of the Year, totally deserved. Fins up the former Tasman Mako there with Will Jordan, and he's going to need everything he can. But I think with Esters and Moody, it provides a bit of support. And then the opposite side of it, we've got Kurtley Arenza, the high-flying, fast, more tries than caps kind of guy, going up against somebody like Mark Talea, who, like, for years was kind of on the outside of selection. Mark Talea's background is a little bit interesting. He is half South African, half Samoan. Apparently, his father left when he was young, so he grew up kind of more in the Samoan side, the Samoan culture. And I've watched Mark for many years playing with the Blues, and I kind of always felt like he was just outside of selection. They finally selected him, and he's done really, really well for the Blue, for the All Blacks and for the Blues. And it's going to be a nice little interesting, matchup. Kurtley, scrum cap, but he's so bloody fast. Mark has a little bit of muscle size to him. He's kind of built a little bit more like Makazole Mpipi, definitely. And it should be a nice little matchup, a wing and at center for both of these teams. Now we've got to kind of look also to at the legacy that these coaches are leaving behind. I think everybody's kind of been back on the All Blacks train. Oh, they're going to go in number one if they can win by 16 points. They're going to, people tend to forget that a year ago they were ranked 5th. Fozzie the Clown got these guys into the worst ranking they've ever been in history, and people seem to forget about that real quick. And then on the opposite side of the coin, it's like Jock Nienaber. I mean, how do we feel about him? I mean, I obviously don't rate him as high as Rassie, even though this has kind of been Rassie's team too the whole time. I don't put him obviously in the same, hell level that we were under Alistair Coetzee. Where do I rate him? Where do you guys rate him? I mean, is he Nick Mallett level maybe a bit? He's not Jake White, obviously. Maybe Heineke Meyer? It's kind of the legacy that these two guys are going to leave behind. I think anything short of a final for Fozzie, his reputation's in the toilet. I kind of feel the same way about Jacques. Anything short of winning, his reputation's kind of questionable at that. The Handré Pollard situation, we keep hearing rumors. He's working out with the team. He's full strength, but then we hear the opposite, that he's not going to play. Another thing I wanted to bring up, the next day after our game, same venue, Twickenham, England is playing Fiji. Apparently, the ticket sales are so bad that they're closing off the top level. Apparently, nobody really wants to go to that, and I've seen a lot of people picking Fiji to win that game. two guys out. Owen Farrell obviously getting a little slightly worse than a slap on a hand, and then obviously Vunipola getting 3 games, could be reduced to 2 if he goes to the same classes that Farrell says he goes to too. What's up with the Palms? I mean, I could really care less because I hope they lose every game they play, but really, what's going on with that program? Ill discipline. I don't think this is what Eddie Jones left behind, but I think he left knowing that this is what it was going to turn into. So we'll see with that. But like I said, once again, 13:10, I will be going live, and I guess I need to give my prediction at the end of this. What do I think happens? Now, I think that quick and early, we're going to need to get our shit together, especially at the back of the rucks. We're not going to be able to get turnovers. We saw how quickly Aaron Smith and Mwanga work with the ball out of the back of rucks. It's going to be high flying, very, very fast. Our forwards need to be ready for that. I think they are. I think the mobility of somebody like Franco Mustard next to Ebenezabeth, I do see at least a yellow or a red card coming from Scott Barrett, just because I think he's going to get frustrated really quickly, especially if he's having to match up with Eben at all, because they're not even in the same sport, even the same field. Artie Savea, definitely got to watch out for him. You got to watch out for the All Blacks. They can beat you. They're, I don't deny what a good team that is. Now, as far as what do we need to do to win, we need to execute. We need to play our game plan. We need to slow them down. And we need to keep the ball out of their hands. And then you say off to Clerk, who kicks the ball away a lot. We've got to be very, very careful with that, because they do have the tools in Will Jordan to hurt you. Bowden Barrett, not so much. I'm not worried about him at the back. He is a great general at the back. He does have good pace still. He's just not what he was when he was player of the year back-to-back. But he can still hurt you. But I think with our back three, with Damian, Cannon, and Kurt Lee, we can hurt you just as bad. Damian has shown his ability to operate from the back of the pack with efficiency. So it should be a great game. I think whoever wins this game will carry a lot of momentum going into this tournament. And I would like for it to be us, because we start off cracking quick. We both play heavy teams. New Zealand plays France, we play Scotland. These are not going to be easy opening games for either team. And I'd like for us to have some decent momentum and some good vibes going into this tournament, which is now 15, 16 days away from us now, 17 days away. I would like for us to have the momentum on our side, obviously. But it should be a great game. Like I said, come on out, hang out. It'll be me and my dog. We'll be hanging out. My missus will be at work, because it is an afternoon on a Friday here for this game. But it should be great no matter what. So once again, thank you guys, all you new subscribers. I really do appreciate it. I know this is, like I said, is something a little bit different than probably what you're used to. Having an American guy talking about Springbok rugby so passionately and following the game and following the moves and all that kind of stuff. But this is just something I really, really enjoy doing. And I do appreciate you guys' kind words of support every single time. It really does make this a fun thing to do. I never got into this to make money out of it. I just got into it kind of being a dude that just wanted to talk about rugby. And you guys have been glad to have those conversations with me. If you ever want to reach out to me, you can see my social networking links and stuff like that. Reach out. Don't be a stranger. I don't bite. I'm not mean. We can have talks, man. I really do enjoy it, talking to people all over the world who love this game just as much as I do. So until next time, cheers, guys, and I will see you guys all on Friday.